Welcome to our first video coverage of the full release of Gundam Versus. My name is Trey, and today we're going to be going over the roster. So there are quite a few Gundams to choose from here, and and mobile suits. I just want to give you a look over the full roster that is in the game currently. So for original Gundam, we have, of course, Granddaddy Gundam, the RX-78-2. Then we have the Gun Cannon and the Gun Tank, which are to be expected. Very happy to see the Gun Tank come back. Gun Tank is a lot of fun to play as, with its weird movement. And it's just really fun to mess around with the Gun Tank, in my opinion. Then we have Doan Zakutu, which is just a Zakutu, basically. Char's Zakutu, which of course is the Commander type. Char's Gelgoog, which of course is the Commander type. And the Zeon. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get a Zaku Sniper or a base Gelgoog. Maybe like a Gelgoog 2, but that's fine. A Hub Ability type Zaku would have been cool as well. But hey, we got a lot of representation from original Gundam here, because we also have... there we go. The Gof, the Gyan, and the Dom. So, it's not like we're hurting for Zeon suits. But, this is a pretty good representation. You have all the stuff you really want. You have the blue Rambaral Gof. You have the Gyan and the Dom. It's not a bad representation of original Gundam. There's always things you could ask for more of, and I would like to have these two spots that are empty here filled, but hey, it's fine. For Zeta Gundam, we have the Zeta. We have the Hyakushiki. We have the Gundam Mark II, which is the super back, or with the super parts. We have the Rick Diaz. We have the Methus. We have the Nemo. We have the Gundam Mark II Titans version. The O, the Boundock, which is a DLC suit. The Masala, the Hyzak, the Marasai, and the Gabplay. That's a pretty good selection of suits here, especially having the Masala and the Gabplay. I did not see that coming. Or the Nemo, even. I didn't expect to have the Nemo either. The Methus I kind of expected. And the Rick Diaz I expected to see, but to have all the others as well is pretty good. Having the Boundock be DLC is a little lame, but at the same time, I really like the Boundock, so I wasn't against paying for it. It was $5 though, so that is a different thing to consider, because the Boundock is not cheap. Going into Double Zeta, we have the full armored Double Zeta, which looks great. The regular Double Zeta, which still looks, it's the Double Zeta, so it's always going to look good. Hamad Karn's Cubile, LPO Peru 2's Cubile. We have... Oh, sorry. I went straight into the next one. This is rather unfortunate, in my opinion. I really wanted the Bawu. Either the Bawu or maybe just... I don't know. It just seems like a really, really short list for Double Zeta. And the mass production Bawu, the mass production Cubile, and the Bawu itself, especially Glimmy Toto's Bawu, are really cool. I'm just a big fan of the Bawu, and not having it here is kind of a shame in my opinion. But that's okay. It's still, we got full armor and regular, and then we got two Cubiles, so I guess can't really complain. Char's Counterattack has a nice little selection here of 4 suits. The new Gundam, a Regizi, the Sazabi, and the Yakdoga. Again, these aren't bad at all. I'm very happy the Yakdoga and the Regizi made it in. We expected the new Gundam and the Sazabi, of course. But I would have maybe liked to see some alternate colors for the Yakdoga. That might be nice. But hey, he's based on the Gyaradoga, as we know, so no Gyaradoga up here anywhere. But hey, that's fine. Yakdoga's pretty cool. Next up is Unicorn, for which we have the Unicorn itself. We have the Delta Plus from Rudy Marcinus. We have the Jesta, which is great. We have the Rizal, which I'm happy with. We have the Sinanju. We have the Banshee. And we have the Kshatriya. I was going to be very upset if the Kshatriya wasn't in here. I would have liked to get a Jagan as well as a Jesta. But I'm happy with the Jesta. I'll take it. I really like the Jesta's design. I like the Jagans a little bit more, but hey, you can't have everything you want. The Rizal is a nice grab. I really like that the Delta Plus is here, and then of course, having the Kshatriya is a really nice touch. I'm very happy it's here. Next up is F91. And if you were expecting a lot of F91 suits, I'm sorry to disappoint you, because we have basically all that was in F91 the movie. We have the F91 itself, we have the Big Nagina, and we have the Brigagiros. And that's it. I love the F91. I think its design is great. The Gina and the Gyros are okay. I don't have any problems with them. But, hey, they're here. That's what's important. Options. Options, options, options. Always more options than less. For Victory, we have the V2, we have the Gun, and we have the Gotlaran. Sure, I would have liked to see maybe just base Victory as well, but V2 didn't really have that many suits that were really good for all-terrain. I guess you could have added the wheeled suit, but hey, it's fine. Victory's fine. Gundam Wing, we get the Wing Zero, we get the Death Scythe Hell Custom, we get the Heavy Arms Custom, we get the Sandrock Custom, and we get the Altron. We also get the Epion, the Toggies 2, and the Toggies 1. Now, these aren't all the... I say Hell. It's not really the Death Scythe Hell version. It's the basic version, really. But I would have liked to have maybe got Original Wing and maybe have gotten the Toggies 3 as well. But that's just me. I think that this is a good lineup. I'm greedy, as you'll see from the rest of this video. I'm very greedy, and I would like to get everything I can. But I'm very happy original Toggies, Toggies 2, and Epion made it in. It seems like for the longest time we've had to switch off between which of these three make it in. Or only two make it, not the other. So I can take not having the Toggies 3. But all in all, this is a good assortment here. I'm very happy with this. Next up we have Turn A! We have the Turn A itself, the Kapul, Korin's Kapul, which of course has a full different moveset. It's not just a different color. The Turn X, Gold Sumo, and the Silver Sumo, which also has a different moveset and doesn't have Harry Ord like the gold one does. So why would you ever use Sally Poe's Silver Sumo when you can use Harry Ord's Gold Sumo? I'm just saying. Very happy with the representation of Turn A. It may not seem like that much, but other than this, what were they going to add? The Borjanen? And you can't have the Borjanen and the Zaku in the same game under two different names. That would be weird. But, yeah, I think this is fine. I would have maybe liked to have a flat, but I feel like the flat would play really weirdly, so, you know, it's fine. Next up is Seed, and we have the Freedom, the Perfect Strike, which was DLC, $5 as well. I bought that because I can't help myself. The Strike, the Providence, the Forbidden, the Duel, the Buster, which I need to unlock, the Blitz, and that is our selection. We don't have the Aegis, which is a little disappointing, and we don't have the Justice, which is a little disappointing. But at the same time, hey, that's fine. Whoops, that was on me. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, folks. I am too used to playing the Japanese version of this game and hit circle. But we will get that. We will get that Buster unlocked at some point, and that will help this roster. But this is a fine roster, in my opinion. I love that the Forbidden is here. I'm very happy with the Forbidden being here. The Calamity and the Raider might have been nice as well, but hey, they're strikers for the Forbidden, so it's fine. And that's one thing to remember, too, as we go through this list, that a lot of these suits that aren't in the game are also strikers for other suits that are. And that's fine. We'll go through the striker list when we get done with this to just see who isn't in the game. But the Aegis not being in here at all as a playable unit, or the Justice, it's just a little strange to me. But that's fine. I'm going to say that's fine a lot, I'm sure. But I love that the Duel is in here, and that the Blitz is in here, because the Blitz has been relegated to a striker in the past as well, and it's nice to see that it is in the game as a full unit. Next up we have Double O, in which we have the Exia, the Dynamis, the Curios, and the Virtue. The Virtue was a DLC as well, but it was available if you pre-ordered the game. You got it for free, which I did. We also have the Throne Eins, the Throne Zwei, the Throne Dry, the Union Flag, the Tiara and Tautsi, and the G&X. I did not know the Tautsi and the G&X were going to be in this game. I knew the flag was going to be because it's Graham Acre's unit. I'm very excited that Tiara and Tautsi and the G&X are in here. And then to have all three of the thrones, that's great. So you will see, folks, that there are going to be units that I did not know were in this game because they weren't in the beta, that I am very excited to see as we continue forward. And the thrones are definitely there for me. I love the thrones, especially the Zwei. It's really good. And the Dry, of course, is nice as well. It has nothing to do with the fact that my name is Trey, and that means 3, and so does Dry. But no, this is a good selection of Double O units. I'm very happy that they went with the original units for Double O, and not the second season versions, because as much as I like the Cheridim, and the Arios, and the Double O, and, you know, I prefer the Exia, the Dynamis, and the Curios. And let's not even get to talking about the replacement for the Virtue, with the Nodle. Let's not even... No, Virtue is fine. I like Virtue a lot more. So yeah. Past that, we do have the Alvaron, which is unlockable, which is the suit that is used by Alejandro Corner at the end of the original series of Double O, the first season. And that's really cool. I did not know this was going to be in this game. I think the Alvaron is a really nifty suit that does not get enough play because it's so easily forgotten and replaced by Ribbon's Allmark Reborn's Gundam. So, absolutely great to see it here. Then we have the Age 1 Normal! Very excited for the Age 1 to be in here. It's currently unlockable. I hit the button again. I've got to unlock the Age 1, but I am very excited to do so. because I do really like the Age 1. I don't really like a lot of the rest of Age, but I really like the design of the Age 1. It's a callback to Granddaddy Gundam while still being different enough and new in its own respect that I find it very enjoyable. And I can't wait to play as it. Very excited, very excited. Next up is Iron Blooded Orphans, one of the newest Gundam series. And we have a nice selection from it. We have the Barbados Lupus, which was DLC, and came for free if you pre-ordered the game. We have the Basic Barbados, which is great. We have the Gusian Rebake, which is DLC for $5. And the Kimaris Trooper. There's definitely some more suits I would have liked to see here. The Flauros would have been a really cool touch. And having the I Dalton would have been amazing, because I love the Dalton. But at the same time, I'll take the Kimaris. It does feel really weird to me that we have the Lupus and the Rebake, but we don't have the Vidar. I very much wish the Vidar was here. I think that's my biggest, of the entire game, that's probably my biggest pull that I'm upset wasn't in it. But that's okay. It could come out as DLC later. Who knows? Maybe it'll be in the next game, but I love the Vidar's design and how different it is from everything else that we've seen in Gundam before. And I just really wanted to see more of it. And it would have been great to have it in this game. But I'm still very excited about what we got. The Gusian's Pliers, the Lupus's mace, and then, of course, the Barbados' mace. Although the Lupus, I guess, uses the sword more. And this is the Lupus without the tail, it looks like. I don't know. Maybe the tail is still there, and it's just not visible from this angle, because you can't turn the suits. And then, of course, the Kimaris Trooper is fine. I just think the Vidar is better. Next up, we have 08MS Team, for which we have the EZ-8, we have the Gundam Ground Type, and the Goof Custom Norris Packard version. This is fine representation. There's not really anything else you could have added. So I'm very excited to see what we have here. This is the 3 that it needed to be. So, very good. Very good. Very excited for Norris Packard's Goof Custom. Then we have Reconquista in G, the G-Self Perfect Pack, which was DLC for $5. The Standard G-Self, the G-Arcane, and the Mac Knife. There's a lot of Gundams in G-Self and a lot of options, but I think these were the best choices, honestly. I don't really think that it would have made a lot of sense to add some of the others, since they're not around for long and don't really have that big of an effect on the series. Whereas these are the big ones: the G-Arcane, the G-Self, and the Mac Knife. So yeah, very excited for that. I'm not a huge fan of G-Reco, but I really like the suits in it. I think they have a very interesting design. I'm hoping they play as well as they look. We'll see. Next up is Thunderbolt, with a full armor Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt. Very excited to see Thunderbolt representation here, because not only do we have the full armor, we also have the Psycho Zaku. And although I'm on record as having said that the Psycho Zaku is not my favorite Zaku, because I think the backpack is a little egregious, I love the paint scheme and the color scheme of the Psycho Zaku, and I'm very excited to have both it and the full armor in here. Really, really nice. Really nice. I played a lot with full armor pieces in Gundam Breaker, so we shall see how good they wind up here, but I'm excited to have them. Then we have some Missing Link coverage. We have the Slave Wraith, we have Vincent's Gelgoog, and we have the Pale Rider. Missing Link is a really good manga series. If you haven't read it and you love Gundam, you should. And I'm very excited to have the Pale Rider. The Pale Rider was DLC as well, $5. But you also get the Slave Wraith, which is a really nice custom version of a sniper. And you get the Vincent Gelgoog, which Vincent's Gelgoog is a really cool looking mobility type Gelgoog. I really like the color scheme, and I like the insignia on the front. So Vincent was a pretty cool character in Missing Link, and of course the Pale Rider's great. So this is a good addition, I would say. Nice to have them here. Stardust Memory has the GPO-1, the GPO-2, and the GPO-3. That's good pulls, why not? We also get the GM Custom and the GM Cannon. Sure. Glad they're here. I would rather have them here than not, even though I wasn't asking for them specifically. All told, these 3 here were expected, absolutely. You can't not have the GPO-1, GPO-2, and GPO-3, but especially the GPO-2 has kind of become a standard in Gundam Versus because a lot of people use it because of the nuclear attack. But Stardust Memory has pretty good representation. Next up, we have Crossbone, in which we have the X1 Kai, the X2 Kai, and the X3. And then, of course, we also have the full cloth, because you have to have the full cloth. I love Crossbone. It's a really good manga series, in my opinion. Not as good as some of the others, I'll be the first to admit, but I very much enjoy it. I think Lost Colony is still probably my favorite, although Missing Link and Comrades are all pretty good too. But the X1 Kai, the X2 Kai, and the X3 are some of my favorite Universal Century suits all told. I love the cloth. I love the pirate theme. The X2 is amazing and was my main in Gundam Extreme Versus Full Boost for the PS3. The full cloth looks really good as well. I don't normally use suits with a 500 cost, just because if I do make a mistake, I feel bad that I cost that much. But the full cloth has a lot to his kit, so if you're good with him, you're not going to have any real problems. Then we have the Phantom, and the Phantom, like it looks fine. I really like the way it looks. It's from this is the Phantom of Amuro Ray, basically. It looks good. It's fine. I'm glad it's here. Next up, we have the High Nu, which looks great, and the Nightingale, which also looks great. You have to unlock it. Very glad to have them here as well. The High Nu Gundam is I wouldn't say better version, but it's the version that I like more than the new, even though I will never stop getting... I'll never stop getting tired. I will never get tired, word it that way, of looking at the new Gundam. I just prefer the High Nu Gundam. And then, of course, we have the Hot Scramble from Gundam Build Fighters Try, Island Wars, the movie, the OVA. I'm glad the Hot Scramble's in here because it never gets any love. I wish it wasn't a 500 cost. I wish it was a 400 cost. Makes sense why it's a 500 cost. I also wish we had gotten some other Build Fighter suits, though. I'm not saying that we needed all of them, but I think the Star Build Strike is a really cool design. I think the Wing Fenice or Renashta are both really cool. I don't know that we really need the Gundam X Mal. It's cool, but we already have the Gundam the Crossbones. So I don't know that we really need that. Past that, I don't know. The Build Burning is okay. The Lightning Gundam's pretty cool. And I really would have loved to have the GM Cardigan. GM Cardigan would have been amazing, but it is what it is. The Hot Scramble is also DLC, but if you pre-ordered the game, you get it for free again. So now let's just see what we're missing here, because we don't have Gundam X, and we don't have Seed Destiny, which I'm not complaining that we don't have Seed Destiny, but there are some cool suits in Seed Destiny, like the Destiny itself, and I'm a bit down that it's not here. Gundam X not being here is my biggest striking point, I suppose, where I really like the Gundam X's, and I played a lot with the original X, with Jamil as the pilot, in Gundam Extreme versus Full Boost. So not having them here is a bit of a loss. But for the most part, we have a pretty good selection of suits here. It's definitely UC heavy, but that's to be expected, really. There's so much UC Gundam, you can't really help that. So let's take a look at the Strikers. Alright, for original Gundam, we have the Gundam, the Gun Cannon, Gun Tank. For this, let's look for suits that we haven't already mentioned that are coming in as Strikers. Basic Zaku 2 and a Zaku 1, the Ball and the GM, the Magella Attack, Char Zigok, the Standard Zigok, the Gelgoog, the Rikdom, the Akigai, and the Gog. Now this is a really good selection of Strikers for original Gundam. I'm very happy with this. Specifically having the Gog, the Zigok, the Basic GM, and the Zaku 1, as well as, of course, the Ball. Like, that's a good selection of Strikers. I'm very happy with that. So, there's not really anything that I would add to that list of Strikers. It's pretty good. On to Zeta, we have, of course, the Gundams that we've already talked about, and the suits we've already talked about. But then we have the Ashimar and the Bialet, and the Bialet is great. I love the Bialet. I kind of wish it had been a playable suit over the Masala. But hey, I also might be more in love with it because of Super Robot Wars V, with Jared Mesa as the pilot. And then, of course, we also have the Palsatine and the Baladak Samal. So, that's great. Sure. Totally down for that. For Double Zeta Strikers, we have the Cubile Mass Production type, we have the Gaza C, and no Bawu. Again, this is one of my biggest complaints. There's not even a Bawu as a Striker. I feel like it absolutely deserved to be a Striker here, and did not deserve to be completely left out of the game. Maybe it's unlockable, and I don't know, but I highly doubt it, because so far we've seen everything that is unlockable. For Char's Counterattack, we get the, of course, Standard Yakdoga, we get the Jagan, we get Quest's Yakdoga, and we get a Gyaradoga, which is all fine for Strikers. That's good. That fixes a lot of the complaints I had before about Strikers, or about playable suits, and having them as Strikers will not hurt anything at all. Next up, we have Unicorn. which doesn't really add much other than the Verzel Commander type and the Stark Jagan. Stark Jagan, absolutely. I say doesn't really add much. You also have the Angelos Girazulu, Standard Girazulu for the guards, the other Standard Girazulu for the sleeves, the Gyaradoga for the sleeves, and the Dryson for the sleeves. So that's a good number of suits added for Strikers. Very happy the Stark Jagan is there. I'm so happy the Stark Jagan is there. I love the Stark Jagan. For F91, you get the Heavy Gun and the Dogri Iris. Which, I mean, that's fine. You also get the Dinanzan and the other Dogri Iris. Yes, those are the ones that you would add, honestly. The Federation version and the non-Federation version. Well, that's what you would do. I really like that the Dinanzan is in here, because I think the Dinanzan looks kind of stupid, and I love it. Then we have Victory, which adds the original gun. Victory as the Hexa, and adds the Zalot from the Militaire. That's exactly what you would expect. You also get the Rigcantio, the Zalot Basic, and Chronicle Zolo. Chronicle Asher has a fun Zolo. That guy does not get as much love as he probably should, but, you know, what can you say? You also have the basic Zolo, Rig Shiko, and the Shiko. So sure, yeah, that's fine. It's a good selection of Strikers for Victory. For Wing, we get the Leo, we get the Space Leo, we get the Virgo, we get the Taurus, and we get the Snake Kingdom Taurus. Yes, that is a good selection there. I love that the Virgo's here. The only thing that I would have liked a little bit more is to have the Mercurius and the Vegeta Strikers. But hey, you can't get everything you want. Very excited with Victory or Turn A Gundam's Strikers though, and then we have the Flat, Militia version of the Flat, the Borjanin, and the Mahiru. So yeah, I love that the Borjanin's here. It's just a Zaku. But it's called the Borjanin because it has a different pilot. And you couldn't have it as another playable character along with the Zakus, but I love that you can have it as another Striker. So you could theoretically go Borjanin Striker and play as a Zaku, and I might wind up doing that. Then of course the Flat. I love the design of the Flat. It's so weird and strange. So definitely got to play around with some of those. For Seed, we get the Skygrasper with the Ale Pack, the Sword Grap, and the Launcher Pack. We get the M1 Astray. We get the Mobius Zero. We get the Gin. We get the Missile Gin. We get the Recon Gin. We get the Calamity. That's great. That is a good selection of Strikers there. I still wish we got the Aegis somewhere, but hey, this is good. I love the Astray. I love the Zero. I love that we get the variants of the Gin. I love the Calamity as an option. The Raider's not here, and I kind of like the Raider more than I like the Calamity, but hey, good selection of Strikers. For a double O, you get the Union Flag. That's Gramps. We already talked about that. And the Alvaron. You also get the Team Area. Oh, we already talked about the Alvaron, too. Sorry, we've been going for almost 30 minutes now. You get the Tierran Space Type. You get the Commander version. You get the Standard Space Type. You get the Ground Type. You get the Overflag. And you get the Union Flag. Sure, that's good. I love the Overflag and the Union Flag both being here. The different versions of Tierrans. That's perfectly fine. There's not really any need for anything else because it's just the first season. And you already have the G and X. So sure, it's good. For Age, you get the Genoese. You get the Genoese Custom from Wolf Iniacal. You get the G-Exes from Wolf Iniacal. And you get the Desperado. And that's a good... I didn't expect to get this much, honestly. I love the Genoese's design. I prefer the Genoese 2 to the Genoese 1, but Genoese 1's fine. The custom version is great. I really like the little changes to it. And then the G-Exes is amazing. I love the G-Exes so much. With the shield that's got the little hook in the end of it. That works as a beam hook. And then the Desperado looks just dumb enough that I love it. So... very happy with the Age selections here. Again, all from the first part of Age. In Iron Blood Orphans, you get the Mobile Worker. You get the Mobile Worker Space Type. You get the Greys. You get the Ryuseigo. You get McGillis's Greys. You get Gailio's Greys. You get the Greys Commander. You get the Greys Ares. And you get the Greys. You literally couldn't ask for more when it comes to options from the first season of Iron Blood Orphans. This is all what you get. The Ryuseigo being here is great. You get the standard custom that the Tekkadan has. Then you have the basic. You have the Commander that was Cranks. You have the Ares. And then, of course, you have McGillis Schwalbe Greys and Gailio's Greys. So it's great. And then, of course, you have the Mobile Workers. Sure. Next up, we have Oi the Mess Team, which gets the Hover Truck and the GM Head Gundam. Sure. That's fine. I don't know what else you would add, honestly, as Strikers. And that is perfectly fine. For G-Reco, you get the Kate Shith, And you get the Jahannam, you get Barara's Mac Knife, and the standard Mac Knife. And that's also fine. I love the Jahannam's design. I think it's a really cool mass production suit. The Kashi is okay, but you know, hey, 4 Mac Knights is never a bad thing, I suppose. For Thunderbolt, now Thunderbolt has some options, by the way. You get the GM Thunderbolt Ver, you get the GM Cannon Thunderbolt Ver, you get the Gun Cannon Thunderbolt Ver, you get the Zaku 1 Thunderbolt Ver, which looks great, by the way. The Zaku 2 Thunderbolt Ver, the Rickdom Thunderbolt Ver. Like those are really good versions of those suits that have a lot of mobility. And of course, some of them have extra shields. I really like those versions of the suits, and I love the Zaku 1 Thunderbolt version. It's the orange just sets it out from apart from the other Zaku 1s, I think. It looks real good. From Missing Link, you get the Saikamu Zaku, and you get the Rickdom 2. Nothing to sneeze at. I love the Rickdom 2's design, and the Psycho Zaku is really cool. Not to be confused with the Psycho Zaku, the Saikam Zaku. We used to call it the Psycho Zaku before the Psycho Zaku existed, but hey, it does now, so what can you do? For Stardust Memory, you get the GM Custom from South Burning. You get the GM Cannon 2. You get the Zamel. You get the Dom Tropin. You get Gato's Gelgu. You get the Gelgu Marine. And you get the Gelgu Marine Commander type. I love that Gato's Gelgu is here. Gato's Gelgu is really cool. It's got that little extra fin on its shoulder that I really like. And then the Zamel is fine. I don't dislike the Zamel. South Burning's GM is great to have as a striker too. For Crossbone, you get the Pez Batala! The stupidest looking mass production suit that's ever been, and I love it. You also get Harrison's F91, which is a really cool touch. I'll definitely be using Harrison's F91 because I thought Harrison was a really cool character who didn't get enough play. For rest of Crossbone, there's not really anything else. The Phantom is on its own, of course. The Nightingale, the Psycho Zaku, or the Hainu as well. I saw Psycho Doga and it threw me off. You get the Psycho Zoga. The Psycho Doga is great. And then you get nothing from Trey. So, would have been nice to get some more Build Fighters supports for sure. Even just having like Winning Gundam as a striker would have been really cool. But or the Gyankos again. But hey, the Argyaga. But hey, I'll take what I get. The Hot Scramble's good. So that has been our coverage of the suits and the strikers. We will be back next time with some actual gameplay and less menus. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Gundam has to offer.